Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me and thank you all so much for subscribing. So today I have the Stamperia paper alter ego along with some of the other items that we got in the December card kit. Now this is the card, tag, and more kit from Jolie, and we just did a release on this where I showed you everything you get in this kit. So today we're going to be making some really fun cards with the chipboard that comes along in this kit. So let's go ahead and get started. To start out, I went ahead and picked out some of my papers from the paper pad, and I went ahead and cut it down to the card size. And then this blue one, I love this color. I went ahead and just tore it straight down, and we're just going to use this as kind of like a side border there, and we're going to go ahead and cut it to the size of the card. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to place that on top. And then we're going to go ahead and cut this. Next, you're going to go ahead and use your vintage photo ink. And I went ahead and just placed that right on the edges there. And then I went ahead and grabbed my distress tool and distressed the edges of the card. So it looks kind of worn and, and then we're going to go back over it with the vintage photo ink. I love doing this technique to your cards, especially if you're looking for a, vintage type look. And it just really brings out a lot of the color inside of the paper. So here I'm just going to go around and my little sponge is flaking off. So next, we're going to go ahead and attach that to the card base. And then on the sides there, if you have any that are like, standing up, or not all the way glued down, just roll them in like I'm doing here. And that's one of the things that I love about doing these types of cards as well, is that you can roll in the sides and really get it, going, so that way it looks a little bit more, it just gives it a little bit more character, and I just love that look. So the next thing I did is I really wanted to paint this feather. This comes in the kit, and again, we're working with the card kit. So this metal, you get 2 metal feathers, and this is one of them. And I really love how these look. So I went ahead and gessoed this because I wanted it a different color. And I went ahead and placed gesso on it. And then you're going to go ahead and set this aside to dry. Next, we're going to go ahead and work on this chipboard clock. Now, this is a clock that is created by Jolie, and this is just absolutely gorgeous. I love the thickness of their chipboard pieces, and they're just really solid. So I went ahead and grabbed the vintage photo spray that I have, and I went ahead and sprayed my clock brown. Now, I didn't do the back, but you can if you want to, because we're actually going to glue this down to our card. I grabbed a napkin and just kind of dabbed it around the clock to kind of get the excess ink off of there, and then set this aside to dry. Next, I went ahead and took my heat gun and just kind of warmed it up so that way it would dry a little bit quicker. Okay, so the next thing I did after the clock dried, I went ahead and grabbed this gold smooch that I had, and it has a really fine tip on it. So if you have a gold leaf pen, or you have, some sort of golden pen, or even silver, or whatever you have, you can use that to kind of trace the numbers. You can also leave this just the chipboard color and do them in black if you choose to. You don't have to paint your clock if you don't want to. But this gold leaf, well, actually it's a smooch gold paint is what it is. And it's a pearlized paint that I got years and years ago. So I just went ahead and colored each of the numbers around the clock with it. And I did go outside the lines a little bit here and there, but you can't really tell because we are going to go ahead and kind of cover some of the clock up with some chipboard, and then we're going to use the feather on top of here. And I think it really added a nice balance to the card. It is so pretty. Next, after everything dried, I came in with some of the clock hands that I had in my stash. And I don't know where these are from. Oh, I don't know if they're from Tim Holtz or they're from Paper Studio or something, but I had them in my stash and I went ahead and put them on the clock. After everything was dried, I wanted to see how this would look on the card, and the clock looked really good. And then I grabbed my tarnished brass distress stain, and this stain is really pretty. So I went ahead and used this to paint my leaf after it dried with the gesso on it, and then set that aside to dry. Next, this is where I'm going to start putting everything together, and I went ahead and laid down the clock just using glue, and then here I used my glue to lay down the leaf, and then I'm going to place the little owl on top of that. And I did, notice the movement of the leaf. It didn't really stick the way I wanted it to. So I went ahead and just grabbed some glue dots, wiped off the glue from the chipboard piece, and then just added glue dots to the back of the leaf. And I think that this turned out really cool. I really like how that leaf turned out. And so then I went ahead and I placed some foam tape on the back of my owl chipboard piece, and I went ahead and just stuck that down. And then that was it. And then the one thing that I did add to this was one of the chipboard pieces that is for you on there. And I thought that one of these little stickers would be really nice on the side of the card. So I went ahead and grabbed that tarnished brass stain, and I went ahead and just used that on the sticker, and then I went ahead and let that dry for a little bit, and then brought it back in to place on the card. So I placed that right there on the side of the card, and these stickers are sticky, so they stick really well. They don't come off. I really like it. And so I went ahead, and since it had too bright of a color, like brassy look, I went ahead and kind of toned it down with some of the distress ink, and it worked really well. I love how this looks. So then I went searching for some brads in my stash, and I found a couple of brads that would look really nice on as a little embellishment on top of the little sticker. So I went ahead and cut off the backs of the brads. Then I went ahead and used foam tape on the back of the brads to stick them down. And then we're done. This is how the card looks. And then again, I went ahead and stuck the For You right on top, right below the little owl. And I think that this is super cute card for graduation. Now let's move on to card number 2. To start off with card number 2, I went ahead and cut down my papers down to the size of my A2 card. And I used a gold cardstock for the back, and then I used this blue, pretty blue, flowery pattern paper. So it's so pretty. Then I went ahead and added the panel to the card. And I just absolutely love this. It's so, so pretty. And I went ahead and just burnished this down. Now here I used the little oval frame that is in the ephemera packet, and this is a chipboard piece, and so is the little mouse. And I absolutely love these two pieces together. When I saw these, I knew exactly what I was going to do for these two pieces. They are super stinking cute together. And so I went ahead and placed foam tape on the back of the frame. And we're going to stick the little mouse inside of that little frame, and it is super cute. So this card is actually going to be a really simple card, y'all. Like, it's going to go by really fast, but it's going to give you a really elegant, super cute look that anybody is going to adore. So that's one thing that I love about this card kit. I love the fact that you can use the chipboard pieces on top of the card to create a unique and elegant card that anybody would love to have. So here I went ahead and placed a little bit of glue on the bottom so that way she would stick down. I didn't do so much towards the top part of her because I wasn't sure if I wanted to stick anything underneath it. And I didn't want to go ahead and interrupt, anything if I wanted to stick some flowers behind her or whatever. So next I used the little flat back pearls that come in the kit, and I just kind of spread them all over the area of the card. And then that little key that's up in the right hand corner, I went ahead and just glued that down because I thought that was super cute. So just glue that down there. And then the For You, I went ahead and glued that right underneath the frame. And I thought that was super cute. And you know how like those vintage frames, sometimes you'll see like the names underneath them. And so I thought that was kind of cute. And I love that she's holding the little birthday present. And so cute, right? I mean, it's just super cute. And so I went ahead, again, just placed some little flat back pearls that come inside of the kit all over the card. Next, I grabbed the lace that comes in the kit, and I went ahead and placed that down on the side of the card. And you can wrap this around to the inside of the card if you want to. I didn't do that. I just went ahead and used it for the top of the card. Right now, I'm placing down a double back tape on the edge of the card. And then I'm going to go ahead and burnish that tape down and place my lace on top of that. And then we're going to go ahead and just cut the lace off on top. And then your card is finished. This was a super quick, easy card that you can do to get a really nice look and gift for somebody. Okay, so we are done with both of these cards, and they turned out so stinking cute. I love the simplicity of this one. We added the frame with the little mouse and the present. I added this For You at the bottom, and then a little key here. I added the lace on the side. I did add some gold paper behind this this top mat, and then of course you can definitely paper the inside. So I would just really like how this turned out. And then for this one here, we added a bunch of different little things. We added one of the little strips that we painted, and it's down, and we painted it, and then I went over it with some vintage photo ink. And then here I stuck some brads on here that I had in my stash. And this one says Journey. This says congratulations. It says For You to go with a little gift. And then here, this is one of those feathers that I gessoed, and then I went over it with some of my Distress Stain and let it dry. And then here we painted one of the chipboard clocks, and then I went over it with this golden smooch with inside of the numerals. And I just love how this turned out. It's such a pretty card. And then on the inside, I went ahead and used some papers to cover the inside. So there's our two cards for today, and I hope you all enjoyed this little video tutorial. Thanks for joining me. Take care, and I have some more videos for you right after this. Thanks for joining me today. Head on over to Trace Jolie to check out their shop, and please like, subscribe, and comment. And come join me for Friday night live shows Friday night at 4:30 p.m. Central Time.